rise when life feels dark. There comes a time in everyone's life when the world grows quiet, not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that feels heavy. You know that silence when your phone stops ringing, when people you thought would always be there slowly fade away, and when your own thoughts become louder than your heartbeat. That silence can feel like emptiness, but it's not. It's space. Space for transformation, space for rebirth, because no matter where you are today, whether you're in a season of heartbreak, uncertainty, or loss, this isn't the end of your story. This is the part where your light begins to awaken. Darkness gets a bad reputation. We think of it as something to escape, something to fix, but in truth, darkness is necessary. It's where creation begins. When a seed is planted, it is buried in the soil, hidden, unseen, surrounded by darkness. Yet that's where growth happens. That's where roots take hold. That's where strength is built. So when life buries you under pain, under loss, under the weight of things you don't understand, remember, you are not buried. You are being planted. The darkness is not your enemy. It's your incubator. It's preparing you for what's next. I once met a woman who told me her story. She had lost everything, her marriage, her job, her home. She said, "I thought life had ended for me." But it turns out it had only just begun. During her hardest days, she would go out every morning barefoot in the grass and talk to God. She said, "I had no plan, no map, no clue, but I had faith, even if it was the size of a mustard seed." And day by day, she started building again. She learned new skills, reconnected with her family, healed her body, forgave people she thought she never could. Years later, she started a community for women going through loss. She became the person she once needed. That's what happens when you refuse to let darkness define you. You rise from it, and then you help others rise too. Light isn't something that appears by accident. It's something you choose. Every morning, you wake up with two options: to stay in the pain or to grow from it. You can choose to replay your trauma, or you can choose to rewrite your story. You can choose to see yourself as broken, or you can see yourself as becoming. Becoming takes courage. It takes grace. It takes patience with your own process. Healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel like you've conquered the world, and other days you'll feel like you're right back where you started. But every step, even the smallest one, is still progress. When life gets hard, we start looking for light outside of us. We look for validation, for people, for opportunities to fill the void. But the truth is, the light you're seeking has always lived within you. You don't need permission to shine. You just need to remember who you are. You are light. You are divine creation. You are the answer to someone's prayer, even if you don't know it yet. When you remember that, fear starts to lose its grip. You start to understand that even when life closes one door, it's because your spirit is ready for a new room. I want you to understand something deeply. You are not your pain. You are the light that rises from it. You are learning to see beauty even in the dark. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. The light within you can never be dimmed by circumstance. You are becoming, and that is enough. There's a moment in your journey where you stop surviving and start living with intention. You start asking yourself, why am I here? What am I meant to share? What pain can I turn into purpose? And that's when everything changes. The most powerful people aren't the ones who've never fallen. They're the ones who fell, shattered, cried, and still decided to stand back up and serve others. When you've walked through the fire, your empathy deepens. You start to recognize pain in others' eyes. You start to listen more, judge less, love deeper. That's light. Light is not loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. Light simply is. It enters a room and brings peace. That's who you're becoming. Imagine a candle burning in the corner of a dark room. Its flame is small but steady. Then someone walks in holding a mirror. Suddenly, that single flame reflects and fills the whole space. That's the power of sharing your light. You don't lose anything by giving it away, you multiply it. When you encourage others, you reflect light. When you forgive, you reflect light. When you love, especially after being hurt, you reflect divine light, and the world needs some more of that right now. We are surrounded by noise, by comparison, by fear. But when you become light, you become calm in the chaos. You become hope where there was none. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is be still. Not everything that's broken needs fixing right away. Sometimes it needs understanding. The seed doesn't rush the soil. The moon doesn't force its glow. Healing has its own rhythm, and when you stop fighting the process begins to work for you. Even if you can't see what's ahead, trust that something beautiful is forming. Every closed door, every delay, every detour, it's not rejection, it's redirection. When you finally find peace within your darkness, something magical happens. Your story becomes someone else's survival guide. You become the friend who listens without judgment, the parent who loves unconditionally, the leader who leads with compassion instead of ego. That's how light spreads, not through perfection, but through presence. Your presence is healing. Your energy is healing. You have no idea how many people draw strength from your quiet resilience. You may think no one notices, but someone does. Someone sees you showing up, even when you're tired. Someone feels inspired by your persistence. Your light doesn't have to be grand. Sometimes it's as simple as smiling through pain, or praying for someone who hurt you, or believing that tomorrow might be better. Wherever you are today, whether you're in your darkest valley or standing in the first light of a new dawn, know this: you are the light. You've always been. The world may have tried to dim you. People may have misunderstood you, but your purpose cannot be erased. Your glow cannot be taken. You are still chosen. You are still powerful. You are still becoming. And one day when you look back, you'll realize that the nights that almost broke you were the very nights that built your strength. You'll see that the darkness wasn't meant to bury you. It was meant to show you your own fire. You'll realize that you became the light you were searching for. So rise for yourself. Rise for those still trying to find their way. Rise because your story is proof that even in the darkest places, light still lives. You are the light. You are the hope. You are the reminder that it's possible to begin again.